Yo, what is going on guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's DJ Crime here, and today you guys requested it. Today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of my brand new track Ultron with Maxor. This was a really fun track to make with him, awesome dude to work with. This ID started a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago actually. We wanted to do something and we went back and forth with ideas, and he sent me over 2 drop midis, and he sent me some other stuff as well to basically work on the track. We had another ID, but it was in triplets and it didn't really work out as well. So we decided to go with this one, and the end result is actually pretty good. And you guys requested to see a walkthrough of it since it got released on Spur. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So I think we're going to start off with the breakdown because I mainly did the break for us, and I also did a lot of the drop as well. But I also sent it back to Max to do his own little thing with the drop and everything like that. So let me play through the break for you, and we'll go through each and every single thing. So that is mainly the break. I can't play through all of it because of CPU and stuff, but I'm going to go through each and every single sound that I used. So let's just start off with the little piano thing I've got going on here, which is linked to a pluck apparently as well. So I'm using Nexus for the pluck, is one of them. Oh, never mind, I'm not on the right one. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so I'm using the built-in FL piano as well, and I'm also using a Nexus plug. You might recognize this plug. It's from a W&W track, Wizard of the Beats. I just like the attack off it and the mids, and I also give a lot of atmosphere to the track, so I used it. I also have this plug playing. It's Spire. It's the Factory Bank 1 Cordony preset. It's a really good one. I use it quite a lot for the mids. It really helps drive a little bit more of the power into the plug to make it stand out. I also added like the bass line kind of thing to basically give it some more body, to make it sound like I'm playing chords under it, so it sounds pretty good. And I also added this piano, which is playing the melody. I normally have it playing chords, but I decided to have it playing the melody as well. I should have put a lot more reverb on it, but it is what it is. I also added a lot of pads as well. I think they're Nexus. I always use Nexus for my pads. So we've got this one right here, which is a classical core. It's just voices. Just gives off so much texture and harmonies, and it helps drive a lot of the energy as well. I've got this one. I think this is a dark pad. It's one I use quite a lot as well in my tracks, just to fill up the atmosphere. I'm into a lot of the atmosphere dark stuff, so having these sounds really just bring that kind of vibe to the table. I also have this one right here called a bell pad. Everything's in the this is all factory presets in Nexus, so you can go ahead and check them out if you want. And then there's this one. This is one I use quite a lot because it has quite a lot of high atmosphere. It has a lot of like really nice little sounds that play there and there. I like Nexus because that's quite a lot of variation with it, presets and stuff, so I like this one. So altogether it sounds like this. I have it filtering in as well, just so it's not in your face instantly. The mixing on these are pretty basic, and EQ on each basically just EQ and what each of them have. So if one has a lot more mids, then I'm going to EQ the highs out, and if one has a lot of mids but I want the highs off it, I'm going to vice versa that and boost whatever I feel needs boosted. And I also have a bus going on here with the EQ, just EQing everything around here, because you're not going to really use them if you've got a sub bass as well. I've got an OTT, just doing a little bit of compressing and stuff, making sure everything's going glued together. I've got a kickstart for some reason, I don't know why, but it's there. I've also got a filter, and I've also got another EQ. I don't know why the filter is there, but it is what it is. It's muted for some reason. Anyway, I've got this respace right here. It is a Spire preset. It's in some bank. I don't know what it's called, but it's called Bass Moti pads. It's a really like heavy respace once you boost like the low to the mids. It sounds really good. I also routed it and then did a little bit more EQ into it just to make it stand out a little bit more. And then we've got some arps playing that play in the intro and the break, which are pretty cool. They sound like this. So yeah, they're all Spire presets as well. I'll go through the mixing really quickly because I don't want to make the video too long. So I've got a Camel Crusher, I've got an EQ, I've got a Fruity Reverb, OTT as usual. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that the mixing chain is the same for pretty much every single one of my tracks. It's really simple. I like it like that. I've also got a kickstart for the intro, and a fab filter again, just to EQ any unnecessary frequencies or low end. So yeah, so the vocal we used is for splice vocal. This has been used quite a lot, but at the time I didn't really hear it that much, but recently it has kind of became quite popular. But it is a really nice splice vocal. The processing on it, so all the way here is on one bus. So I have one that's pitched down, which sounds pretty heavy, but with everything else it doesn't sound like that, which kind of hides it. And I've got this one, the high vocal. We pitched it up, I think it's 3 semitones or 2 semitones up to E, which is the key of the track, and it felt a lot of energy from it. So I did some EQing to cut around any low end because I don't really want any of that mids in the vocal. I had a Camel Crusher, a reverb, OTT, a de-esser because I felt there was a lot of harsh S's and like clicking sounds and just really harsh sounds in general, so I had to try and clear them up because it would have got really annoying and it wouldn't make the track listenable. And then I added a filter just for automation and another EQ, just doing some more low cutting and a high cut. But yeah, my vocal chain is not that interesting. When it comes to splice vocals already mixed, I just have to like turn the volume down and do some EQing and then kind of just boost them and stuff like that. So it varies on tracks, but that's normally how I go about doing it. So we've also got a lot of cinematic drums, you know, just the basic kind of stuff here. I've got my Vanguard drum hit as well. I use that quite a lot, which sounds a bit off time for some reason, which I don't know why. We've also got some ear candies. It's really good to fill your tracks up with some of these little ear candy effects, like these glitchies and like horns and other stuff, because it really just builds the track up and also gives like the listeners something new to listen to throughout. So I've got here just a lot of ear candy, just helps in my tracks because I really like to hear that when I listen to a lot of other tracks. I've also got a lot of atmosphere going on at the bottom as well because I want to make this breakdown as atmospheric as I can. and most of these are all routed to an atmosphere and glitches bus, which are just all the samples routed to one. It makes it easier for mixing and it helps quite a lot. And then I've just got a lot of downlifters and effects like little like crashes and some uprises, you know, just the typical stuff you find in an EDM track. When we get to the climax kind of part, I added a snare build up here just to, you know, give it more energy. So I've also added the reverse of the synth as well, and I've also added a gross beat, I think. Yeah, I did. I added a gross beat right here, and it just gives it a little stutter effect. It's pretty cool, and just give it something different. Um, so the saws and the chords. So these are the layers. There's a lot of layers. I'm not gonna go for every single one of them, but there's 8 layers and a reverb carry, and the mixing is pretty self-explanatory. There's an EQ in each, and the mixer bus. So I won't go through it because it's the same one I use quite recently. It's the same kind of like structure, but when it comes to mixing my leads, I like to have a lot of power in them. So if I solo the leads. I always have one or two layers that are in like that are louder than the others because I want to have like something different as the main lead. So I think this one's different. It's a mono lead, so the mono leads kind of stand out the more because it gives the mids. So it really helps the track quite a lot. The chords as well, those are again the same, just different processing, just some EQing. And I've turned the volume down because I don't want it clashing too much with the leads, because you still want the melody to be there. So yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown. I won't go through the drop. I might save that for part 2. I'm gonna have to ask Matsu if he wants me to put out the how we made the drop or how he made the drop. So but yeah, there's a lot that goes on in the break. I'm glad that you guys really like the track as well. I thought I'll go over the mixing of like the master. So on the master, I have as an EQ cutting away any unnecessary frequencies overall, and I've got OTT, Pretty Balance as well for automation, and I've got Endless Mayo as well. I also automate the audio stereo separation to make it go mono or wide, I think, in the build-ups. So that really helps make the drop hit harder. So yeah, this is pretty much the walkthrough of Ultron. This is actually an older project. I forgot to say it at the start, but it's an older project, but it still has the same fundamentals of it. So yeah, I hope you learned something new from it. From this walkthrough, a lot more videos will be coming out soon. A lot of you guys wanted to see Carnage next, and that was the second most voted, and then there's Hellfire. So maybe I'll do a walkthrough of Carnage and show you how me and Drerox made that. But if you did go on to enjoy today's video, then be sure to go ahead and drop it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.